Good morning, my friends. This is Leanne from My Big Adventure coming at you with my 7-week post-op vertical sleeve gastrectomy update video. I started my journey at 278 at the pre-op diet. After pre-op diet I was 268. Last week I weighed in at 240. And today, finally, I saw a little drop at 237.8. So really, I round up or down. I don't like 2 today, but 238. So I'm down another 2 pounds, which of course I'm happy about. I will confess that this has been so, the scale is just kind of bumped up and down and up and down and up and down. 2 pounds here, a pound there, a half pound, whatever. And my eating is erratic. I've complained about that in my last video. I wish I were more routine-oriented, disciplined, whatever. I intend to get that way. I'm just not real sure how. So I'm envious of people who have, the 3 and 4 pound a week losses. But even though I'm old, I've got the rest of my life. So even 1 or 2 pounds a week is progress. I have to confess also that I've worried off and on that since I've been hovering around 240 for a long time. Is this it? Is this the end of my weight loss? 40 pounds officially today, finally. I've been saying, I've lost about 40 pounds for, it seems like, weeks and weeks. And really, I hadn't lost 40 pounds. I'd lost 38 pounds, 38.5 pounds, whatever. So today, I actually saw 40 pounds plus 2.2. So, but I'm sure I'll play with that number up and down and up and down. So I'm excited to see the 230s, but I must confess that I've worried that this is it for me, that I'm done losing, any significant weight, and I can't imagine it because I'm eating just so little compared to what I used to eat. But anyhow, I wonder if others of you who are like 7 weeks out and have had a stall or slow, it seems like I go between a stall or a 1 pound loss. So, is it normal to worry at this point, 7 weeks out, that this is it, that I'm not going to lose any more weight, that I'm never going to see my next goal, which is 235, I think. Yeah, my next goal, mini goal is 235, or 225, or even Wonderland. Wonderland seems so far out now. And sometimes the excitement dips because I keep getting a little smaller, and now I'm finally getting to the stage where I'm down to 2 pairs of shorts, and I've got 3 or 4 pairs of capris that fit me. They're not falling off, but they're really gross looking because they're so baggy. And I have a couple pairs of shorts that are the same way. I have a lot of shirts that are all baggy, but they fit fine. The shirts do. But I'm getting to a point now where I'm going to have to go out and find other clothes. So that's good. I just the eating is such a challenge for me because I'm so erratic and so spontaneous. And besides, I find that I still love to cook, even though I don't eat a lot of what I cook. I went and cooked for my client the other day. I'm a personal chef. And I cooked all kinds of wonderful things like I always do, including a raspberry cobbler that I picked the berries. And it's not tempting because I've never really been a person who eats a lot while I cook, other than to taste things a little bit just to see how they're doing. But it's just bizarre that I still like feeding people. I think that's part of the eating disorder thing. I think anorexics even love to cook for and feed people. It's just kind of weird. It's just, I don't know. I guess I'm feeling a little bit blue about it. Honeymoon period is, I guess it wouldn't be wearing off if I was experiencing like the younger gals, the 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 pounds a week losses. Although I look at myself, I'm 7 weeks out and I've lost 40 pounds. And that's really good. That's really good. So, well, actually, that's from my highest weight. That's from before surgery. From surgery, I've lost 30 pounds since surgery. Back in the day when I was young and I never let myself get, more than 30, 40, 45 pounds overweight, it was like a piece of cake, man. I'd go on some diet and I'd just lose all kinds of weight really fast. Of course, I gained it all back plus some, but I could expect that if I applied myself, I could have pretty much instant gratification, and I'm finding that's just not the case anymore. I'm not instantly gratified. I don't mean to complain. It's all good. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. I mean, without the surgery, where would I be now? I'd still be at 278 or maybe 280 or higher. Who knows? And I was so freaking miserable being that heavy. And I know that I'm gonna, if when I lose another 40 pounds, I'm gonna be that much happier, because I can tell such a huge difference in everything I do. 40 pounds lighter, so I can only imagine that at 80 pounds lighter, it's going to be even more dramatic. So there's no way I'd trade this. I guess it's just growing pains. This is a whole learning curve that's like that, because I'm older than a lot of folks here, and I've had a lot more years to develop all my bad habits, and so it's just a steeper learning curve for me, because I have so many bad habits to break. I find that I don't eat a lot during the day. It's too much trouble. Even though I have a refrigerator full of little leftovery things that I could eat, I'm busy, way busy. Whether I'm here puttering around, I've got all kinds of stuff that I need to like to do around here, which is lucky. I'm glad I'm not a person who can only sit around in front of the TV, because I feel for those people. But then, of course, my old habit and my old biggest problem was eating at night. And even though I certainly can't eat as much as I used to eat at night, and I try hard to eat things that aren't bad for me, I still eat at night. That's when I do the bulk of my eating. Last night I had leftover tilapia from dinner, which wasn't bad. I had, what else? Some berries, which isn't bad. I had a tiny little slice of whole wheat zucchini bread that I made. Yeah, my husband needs to have himself a sweet treat with his coffee every morning, so guess who's the baker? That would be me. I should just let him stick to his Costco blueberry muffins that he really likes, because I'm not so tempted to eat those. Anyway, and I had a half of a Atkins bar. Anyway, it's the same. I'm still dealing with the same freaking huge monkey on my back, this eating at night thing. And I don't go over my calorie limit. I mean, if I put 1,000 calories as my limit, and I rarely get more than 800 or so, still eating at 11 o'clock at night, the bulk of your calories for the day, I don't think that adds or helps weight loss. What do you think? So these are my challenges right now, and I'm not, well, I said I was blue earlier. I'm not really blue. I just feel stuck in my habits and in my ways, and my lack of routine, my routine of having no routine. I know that sounds crazy, but it's how it feels. I want to plan out at least to some degree. And I have a freezer full of little vacuum sealed meals for myself, and why don't I just go get one of those? I don't know. Here's the deal. Last night I fixed dinner. I had a friend over, and she's also doing low carb-ish too. So we had all these blueberries. I made this low fat, or no, kinda. It's called double blueberry pie, and it has cream cheese or Neufchâtel cheese, blueberries. It has artificial sweetener other than the graham cracker crust, which is a graham cracker crust. It's really not horrible for you, because it's got the cheese and the blueberries, no sugar added, and if you don't eat the crust, it's really not. And of course I had to make 2 of those because we have a zillion blueberries, and well, I'm making 1, I might as well make 2. That's how my whole life has been, because I have 4 kids and I just always ended up cooking for a ton of people. So now I have 1.5 of those pies left in my fridge. Dinner was tilapia, delicious, on the grill, and I made roasted vegetables, which were pretty good. They weren't as the cauliflower was really good. The others didn't do so well, I don't think, in that mode. So I had roasted vegetables and tilapia, and of course I sat there and ate less than half of my piece of fish and then some vegetables, and that was it. Like, maybe 4 or 5 tablespoons of food, maybe. And then I'm done. And it was really good. And I would have liked to have had my day filled more with that kind of food than a piece of blueberry stuff, or anyway. I don't know. I'm just getting used to it. I guess 7 weeks out isn't really, I've got a long way to go to figure myself out, my sleeve out, and make friends with it and work with it so that it can work for me. And I don't know that there's any other way to do it but just to put one foot in front of the other and take it one day at a time. No one's noticing other than you guys. I mean, you say, oh, look at your face. And my face, I do notice that. And my body, I mean, for sure my clothes are smaller. I mean, I'm smaller, my clothes are bigger. But the bottom line is that, when I get out of the shower, I can see a little bit of a difference. My underwear pulls up to my boobs. They're so big. That's another thing I'm going to have to get some more of. But I run into people I haven't seen for a long time. Nobody notices. Nobody says anything. And that's because I guess I still weigh 240 pounds, so I'm still hugely overweight. And that I'm waiting. I'm still waiting. That's one of my biggest non-scale victory goal that I've had ever since the beginning. It was somebody I haven't seen in a while notices that I've lost weight. That hasn't happened, really. I've had a few people who know that I did this say, oh, you're looking good. But anyway, I'll be glad when that happens. It'll be a woohoo day when somebody says, oh my gosh, you've lost weight. The aging thing is, like I said before, the shrinkles are so evident all of a sudden. My biggest problem is the turkey neck, which you can't see in these videos very well, and the one that I did last week in the steering wheel, you couldn't see it because there wasn't enough room in the thing, and you can't see it here, but just so I can show you what didn't used to be here before and is here now. Well, this doesn't even do it quite justice. In the light of day, it is hugely noticeable to me. I need to get over it. I need to just get over it. I'm 61 years old. I'm not ashamed about it. I'm happy. I want to grow old gracefully, etc. I don't want to be that person that has to go out and get a nip and a tuck every time a little sag or a bag happens, because it's nature. It's going to win in the end, and I can't fool Mother Nature, and I want to be an older lady who's at peace with all of that. And so there's another little learning curve challenge for me. And then I wanted to respond a little bit to Jennifer Bleecher's question of why do VSG people end up getting divorced, which was a response to less of Sarah's and Will's announcement that they're going to separate and get divorced. And, she says and brings up that folks say, oh, the problems were there before the surgery. It wasn't like the surgery caused the problems. And I can get that. I just have a couple thoughts about that. One of the things is that even at my stage in life, I've noticed that even though I've complained earlier about the slowness of this and the challenges and all that, I feel better. I feel lighter in everything that I do. I've taken a much more of an interest in fixing myself up, wearing makeup every day, than I did before. Before it was only when I went somewhere and I just slouched around because what was the point kind of thing. And now I'm more enthusiastic about looking good, and so there's that confidence level as far as your physical appearance, and that bleeds into your whole the aura that you emit. And my suggestion is, and since I've been married and divorced before, I have a little bit of experience, that the problems that you've had you learn to live with. But then when you, through surgery or some other way, make a huge self-improvement, that ends up giving you self-confidence and makes you feel lighter in your soul and lighter in your mind. Maybe you feel like you deserve happiness more than you allowed yourself to before because you were so fat that, at least for me, I can speak for myself, so fat that's like, I had a prejudice against fat people, myself included. How could I let myself get this way? I must be less than, I must, those negative feelings that we have about ourselves, when they start to lift and you start to acquire some confidence and some self-worth that says, maybe the problems that I've lived with all this time, or we've lived with, or whatever, maybe we don't have to live with them forever. Maybe I am going to get to a place where I can stand up for what is right and good for me, and if that means not being in the relationship, well, I can handle it. I can do it. See, I've been there, and when I did that, I had 4 little kids and no real support from their dad. So there's that. And even though I've complained about nobody noticing, there's a couple men that are in my world, not necessarily in my life. They're on the periphery of my world that have paid attention to me. And that's heady stuff because I haven't had anybody pay attention to me that way in so long that I just figured that part of my life was over and that it's time to just be old and settle for, the routineness of a marriage and a relationship that's a roommate sort of a situation, which has it's good in lots of ways, but I guess I figured I deserved that because I was fat, and that's probably one of the reasons I got so fat. So anyway, I will say that when you get to a place when you are getting, and I mean, I never expected to get male attention again for the rest of my life, and so when you do get that kind of attention, it takes that little bit of confidence and it does some twinging and twanging in there. It's not that I'm interested in doing anything about it, and neither are the folks I'm getting the attention from. It just opens up an old gate that has been closed for a long time and reawakens a part of you that you thought was dead. And that's a challenge. I mean, just within myself, there's nothing, no decisions to be made, none of that. It's just a challenge to realize that maybe you're going to have to deal with that. And so I'm wondering if I'm the only one that's had to deal with handling those kinds of challenges, attention that you didn't ever expect to get and now you're getting. And so that could contribute to why marriages don't, they suffer after a big weight loss, whether it's surgery or otherwise. I don't know the answer to Jennifer's question, but these are thoughts that I've had. The confidence thing, as well as, whoa, somebody's saying nice things to me about the way I look, or that that person thinks I'm sexy, or what. And so maybe it's just a thought. So other than that, I don't have a whole lot else to say. It's sunny and beautiful here. I'm busy with raspberries and blueberries. We have a big garden, and we have a huge raspberry garden, berry garden, and I love it, but it's this huge responsibility because when they're all ripe, they're calling me, come and pick me, because if you don't, they'll go to waste. So I call my friends, and Barbara or Trina, if you're out there, I don't know if you watch this, but I need to call you because even though my berry patch ain't what it used to be, I've picked all I need. So call me if you're watching. Anyway, love all you guys. Go Teams, I loved your dance. Finding Elizabeth, boy, you sure reach into a spot in my heart. I just want you to know I am here. Listening and caring, listening to you and caring about everything you say and everything you share about where you've been, and I am on your wagon as far as where you're going. I have a real. I just applaud you for examining the things that you're examining, because it's hard. It's not, getting well emotionally and mentally isn't easy. It's hard because in order to do that, you have to go back and look at what made you hurt in the first place. Nobody really likes to go back and revisit that stuff, but it's kind of a necessary evil if you're going to acknowledge it and work through it and get to the other side. So Elizabeth, I love you, and you're my pal, and I appreciate what you're doing, and I'm right behind you here. And there's a zillion others that I could shout out to, and I always forget them. I swear one of these days I'm going to make a list, and the whole video is going to be a shout out specific to all the people that I watch, and what they give me, and every one of you gives me valuable stuff. So anyway, have yourself a great day. It's Friday. Have a great weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye.